Welcome back to thakTECH.gaming. We're going to take a look at Cthulhu Realms. This is a kind of a modification that was done to Star Realms. The guys at TMG, they liked Star Realms and they wanted to do some modifications to it, so they put out a version of it in their card format, in actual physical form, and it's gotten a lot of features that are similar to Star Realms, but definitely some differences. So I'm going to kind of demonstrate some of that. We are going to play an AI game, and we're going to do easy just because I don't want it to take forever. Plus, it's embarrassing when the AI destroys me because the AI in this game is brutal. They've actually got the AI in this game definitely. And unfortunately, the easy AI is easy, and the hard AI is just almost insane. So anyway, you'll notice that there's very similar features, but like I said, there are some differences between them. You'll note that you have health, just like in Star Realms. You start with 50, just like in Star Realms. Um, and you have the same idea of blocking locations. Like in this case, you have the Swatley Farm and City of thakTECH or whatever, Miskatonic Library. I'm going to mispronounce everything. I'm sorry. But you can see these have the little shield, and that means that they protect the player. There are other cards that actually protect other locations, and there are some of them that don't have the shield that just are just locations there that don't block anything, and they can just sit out there and be used over time. So that's kind of the differences between the cards. You're going to see that there's yellow, purple, and green. These are the factions, and there's only 3 factions in this game. There's not 4 like in Star Realms. You have the buying power, which is the little kind of, I don't know what color that is, like teal or something. Um, that gives you +1 buying power, and these cost 0. They're your starting hand. Then you have initiates. You'll notice that some of the cards have like these here. Let's just go ahead and look at that. So that's your follower. It is just a regular card. This one is slightly different though. You'll notice it has these little arrows. Um, the uh, the arrows are the thing that allow you to choose one or the other. Okay, so this means you get +2 buying power, or you can do 1 damage, and it tracks insanity because Cthulhu, of course. And then in this case, you see this little red square, which is an abjure sign, meaning that if you throw this card away, um, if you're willing to throw it away, you'll get to do an extra point of damage. But they cost 2, and these are available all the time. So you can always buy initiates for 2. This is the tableau that either of us get to choose from, and then you'll notice that you can see the next card that's going to come up. So sometimes you can plan ahead a little bit and see, well, do I want to draw another card off of here so that then he has access to it? It's kind of a cool feature. But anyway, at this rate, we can go ahead and play all our cards. So we're going to do that. And now we have to choose, do we want to do damage or do we want to get 2 extra buying power? You can see here we're going to do no damage and we're going to have 4 buying power. So if we take the 2 extra buying power, it'll let us buy any of these items as well, which would be pretty nice. So we're going to do that. We're going to choose the extra buying power. And now we can choose to do the City of thakTECH, which is going to give, again, it'll protect 4 points. It'll stop 4 points from coming through. If I have a yellow card to combo with, I'm going to do an extra 2 damage, but I'm always going to do at least 3. Um, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take this one. I'm going to acquire it, and then I am done. So I will end my turn. So I used up all my stuff, and I decided not to abjure that card because the buying power is too good. So you'll notice now I have my goons. So those are 2 each. There are 2 of them, and they will each do 1 damage. So I can play that, and then I can play these. And so now, let's see, what do I have? Right now I only have 2 buying power. If I play this, I can get up to 4, so I can get Miskatonic Library. You'll note that the Miskatonic Library allows you to draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. That can be really good. Being able to cycle your deck is really important. And but you'll notice that it's +2 / -2, meaning that that's the way that works. In some of these cases, this is +1 -1, meaning that you have to draw a card and then discard a card. This one is just a straight +1. And you'll notice these little kind of icons in the top left and top right. This means these are the requirements for that thing to happen. Okay, so um, that's kind of how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and play my initiate. I'm going to go ahead and get my extra 2 so that I have 4 so that I can buy. I could buy 2 of these cards, but I think I'm going to stick with Miskatonic Library because it's allowing you to cycle your deck is really pretty awesome. So because I have the 2 goons, I'm able to do 2 damage. So I'm gonna attack for 2, and then I'm gonna end my turn. Okay, so he forced me to discard a card, and so I'm gonna go ahead and discard my goon because doing the 1 extra damage isn't gonna matter because he's now got. You'll notice he's got a sanctuary which blocks the player from attack. So I have to do 5 damage in order to get past that, which really sucks. But the good news is I get to play this, which means that I'm doing 3 damage to him anyway, and now I'm blocked from 4 points of damage. So now I can play all my cards here, and I only have 3 buying power. So let's look and see. So I have 2. This right here means that I get to abjure a card. Abjure a card means that I can put it into the abjure location, okay, which is different than scrapping. Um, the abjuring means it kind of goes to this holding place, and then there's some cards that will let you to pick up abjured cards, and you can abjure cards from the tableau here. You can abjure them from your hand, or you can abjure them from your discard pile. So sometimes you'll use this for culling. Other times you'll use it to actually steal cards from the tableau. Or even pulling them out of your discard pile to stick in the abjure thing so that then you can immediately put them into play. There's crazy combos you can do with this game. So here you'll notice we have buying power and healing. This is a really good card to get because you get to gain conjuring power, that's what they call it, but buying power basically. You can heal 4 sanity, and then if there's another purple card in play, you do extra 2 damage. So I'm going to definitely take that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and in turn, because my 3 can't get past his 5. So even though I had that 3 damage, it's not enough. And that's the nice thing about this guy is that I'm always going to have 3 to start with until he kills it. So that's going to be really nice. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to play this. So I get to draw 2 cards. Okay, and notice that I don't have to use that ability right away, right? I could keep going, but I don't want to do that because in this case I probably am going to want to discard these 2 cards. Okay, so I'm going to click on that ability, so that gets me my abilities here. Now, if I discard this guy and this guy, then that will let me get through my deck faster, and I still have 5 damage. See that? See how I got 5 damage because matter of fact, I'm not even sure how I got the 5 damage. Oh, because there was a yellow card. I have a yellow card now, so I have a total of 5 damage. Notice that it's 3, and then if I have a yellow card, even though it's Miskatonic Library, I get the -2, which is enough just from these 2 cards alone to kill his Watley Farm, which is fantastic. So I'm going to attack that, and then I'm going to go ahead and play all. And then we're looking at 2 buying power, but if I turn both of these into buying power, I'll be at 6, which is unfortunately not enough to get anything that I really want because this is actually what I want right here. And I can't get Keziah Mason, which I would love to get that one. Let's see here. I'd like to get the occultist as well, but this abjures are always really good. Okay, I think I'm going to take this one. This one will let me get 3 buy or 4 damage. But I could also just go, oh, let's do this. Both of those for that, and then I'll take the fragment. Come on. Oops, fragment. And this guy. Whenever you play these different games, it's like they're the motions and whatnot are very different. So let's see here. Discard 1 card. So that's unfortunate, but obviously we'll want to do the follower. Okay, so here's an example of an abjure, right? So I click on this. I abjure a card from my hand, my discard pile, or the available cards for cost 6 or less. So I could like get through, like let's say I wanted this card. I could get rid of one of these other ones that I don't want so that it shows up here. It's super powerful. Or I can abjure one of these, which I don't want to do. Or I can abjure this follower, which I want to do because I can get rid of him. But notice he's sitting over here in this kind of special abjuring area. If I had another card that could affect that, he would be available to be affected by that abjured card. So here's lots of stuff. Now I can fire this guy off, and I can discard 2 cards. So you'll notice, even though it like doesn't seem like it's that good, the good news is every time I do this, I'm getting through my deck faster. And even though they're going to come up next turn again, as long as he doesn't kill this thing, I can just get through my deck super, super fast, which is fantastic. Okay, so right now I've got 7 damage, so I can do that straight to him. There's no reason not to. So we'll attack him for 7. And then I have 2, and I can get up to 6 again. So I can get this. So I will do that. So here's this, and there's this, and I will take this. And notice this extra little, let's look at that. Acquire an abjured card if green in play. What that means is I can abjure, if there's a green in play with this card, if there's a green in play, I can abjure a card. And then, because in order for me to abjure the card from this, it had to be a green in play anyway, I will have a green in play, meaning that I can then take that card. So with this card, I do 5 damage, and then I can literally just steal a card that's 6 or less off of the middle row, which is fantastic. Very, very nice. That was one of the cards that I was hoping would come up, because, and this one's the same way. I can acquire an abjured card if there's a purple in play. Okay. So again, I want right now, because I've got low-end cards in my hand, I want to cycle these as much as possible. He doesn't have anybody defending. Oh, he does have somebody defending now, but I've got 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm doing damage there. I'm going to go ahead and discard the goon and the follower, because I can do enough damage to destroy the Watley farm again. Okay, so I guess you have to click attack. Used to be you could do something different, but okay, so I can get this guy out and play, which is good. So now again, I have another cycling ability. So I'm going to go ahead and discard that guy. So now I get extra buy and heals, which is awesome. Now I can play all these guys, which is just going to get me to 5, which is, I'm still too low to get Keziah, which is unfortunate. So I can take another cultist. I think I'd rather do this for the abjure. And then I'll do my 3 damage. Okay. Yep, so he destroyed my Miskatonic library, so I'm not going to get my cycling, unfortunately. And I don't get my 2 extra damage, but at this point I'm not needing it. So, okay, so let's see here. Let's play the followers. Play the goon. Okay, so here's an example. There's no other green in play, so I can't use this super awesome ability, which really sucks. And in this case, do I care about the extra 2? This is another abjure, which I would like to get, and a 4 is not going to matter. So if I do this, I'm down to 0. So do I care enough to get one of these 2? I think I am. I think I'm going to take that other cultist. And then I'm going to do my 9 damage to him and turn. Okay. So obviously we're going to do that, which is going to give me my +1, -1. So we are going to discard the goon. We can kill Watley Farm again, which is good. This guy's going to let me abjure. So I want to play him. Abjure, and we're going to abjure the goon. Then we are going to play our medical student and then our follower, see where we're at, so we can get to a 5, which is not going to help us. Okay, this one is a straight +1, so this is a straight draw, so I will take that. Straight draw is a good thing. And then do I want this? Probably not. I'm going to take the extra damage this time. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that card for an extra 1. Because I'm not needing that extra buying power as much at this point. And this is a very different type of game, because sometimes you can just go straight damage and just power them down. Discard 1 card. Obviously, I'm going to take the follower. Okay, so luckily I'm gonna have a couple of different abjure options here, because I do have, and I'm gonna get to take a card that I abjure, because of the green combo here. So I'm gonna be able to abjure 2 cards, which is fantastic. So I'm going to choose my abjure. I'm gonna abjure this guy. So I can use it for deck culling, or I can use it to steal one of these cards. So if I play this, I can take this Kingsport Harbor, which, notice that this does not have, all this says, there's no shield here, meaning it just sits here. But what this means is I gain 3 conjuring power if a card was abjured, or gain 5 sanity. So I can gain either purchasing power or heals, but that's only if I abjure a card. So because I have all these abjures, that might actually be worthwhile. Interesting. So I think I'm going to abjure this. And now I'm going to use my power that says, hey, I get to pick one, and I get to place it on top of my deck. So I get that on top of my deck. Okay, so now I get to choose, do I want the buying power or do I want damage? So this would allow me to get a total of 5 buying power, so that's 7, which is exactly what I want. So I want to do that. I want to play this. I want to take this, which gets me 7, which so I can finally get because I am Mason, which is fantastic. Okay, and then I'm going to, after this, for 1 extra damage, I'm going to attack this, get rid of that, and then I attack him for 1, and end my turn. See, and I'm still above starting health, so that's pretty awesome. Okay, Kingsport Harbor comes out. Miskatonic Library comes out. I can do my +2, -2, so I get my +2, and then I can get rid of my followers. Then I can... Okay, I'm not going to have a green combo, which sucks. But I get my heals, which is good. I can abjure a card. I will obviously get rid of followers. Play him. I get a +1. And now because I abjured a card, I can either have 3 extra buying power, which gets me to 6, which would allow me to buy the High House in the Mist, or I can heal 5, and I will take that. Put him up here. I will take the High House in the Mist, and I will do 3 damage. I have to discard. Obviously, I'm going to discard the follower. High House in the Mist is out. So I have protection now, which is good, because I am Mason. And now I get my +1, -1. That's kind of dangerous right now. So here I can abjure a card, so I will do that because I got the purple out. Now, let's see. And I can abjure a card. Actually, see, and that's a perfect example of where I probably should have abjured one of these, because I could have abjured a Miskatonic Library and taken it because I had Keziah Mason out, but I forget. I always forget that I can do this. I can abjure cards from the middle of the deck. Okay, the downside of this, like this +1, -1, means that I would draw a card and then have to immediately discard it. Now the downside is, and this is where I failed, I shouldn't have done. Well, anyway, I should have played this first, because then I could have chosen between a couple of cards. Right now, the only card I would get would be the one that I would get the card and then immediately have to discard it, so it would be stupid for me to do that. So I am going to kill off these two things. You'll notice I had to kill the one that was the shield of a building first, and then a shield of a person, and then I can attack finally the AI itself. So we're going to end our turn. Yeah, see, and he took Miskatonic Library. That would have been way better for me to have. I mean, for me, obviously. Okay, so we're going to play this guy. Okay, so we've got our extra -2, so we can kill Arkham City, which we want to do. Please note that when it's shielding a building, you can attack the AI directly, but I don't like having them around, because then you got to go chew through two. If they get another person protector, you have to chew through both of them in one turn, and that's a lot harder to do. Okay, because I have a yellow, I get to just draw a card. That's what that +1 means directly. Here, because I have a purple, I can Abjure at this point, and I've got tons of Abjure out right now, so I'm going to be able to get rid of a ton of cards, which is fantastic. And then, so I can Abjure this guy, which wouldn't be a bad idea. So I've got purple out, so I can Abjure. I'm going to check and see if there's any of this stuff I want to Abjure. I do not want to Abjure any of that stuff. I want to keep all that, which is unfortunate. So really what I want to do is be able to take one of these out of the middle. And because it's only six and below that I can take, so I'm going to take Abjure this at, yeah, 6 or less. So I want to do this, and then I'm going to use the Steel to take him. It's going to go on top of my deck. Now I'm going to Abjure this card, so he's going to go away. This is another Abjure. So I have tons of Abjure, so I can get rid of cards out here that I don't want him to have. And that would be like a thing where if I'm like trying to get really hard to get this card right here, I could Abjure something and get this in play. So let's draw. So we get this guy in play, which is awesome. And I get the +1 draw because I Abjured a card and because of the other. So now I can Abjure, oh, wrong one. I can Abjure this guy, which is great. Now, let's see here, what do we have left? I think, yeah, that's a discard one. So here, let's see, we can go to 7. 7 would be good. We'll take it. So 7, this allows me to draw 2 and then only discard 1, which is pretty good. This is a standard +1, -1, but it also does 6 damage if you have another yellow out. But I think I'm going to take the Necronomicon. I can't talk today. Okay, and then this one I think, yep, was just an Abjure. I think I'd like to just get rid of this building and get that crappy brain cylinder out. Okay, so -10, attack for 10. So he has to discard a card and he just took 10 damage. That was a pretty good turn. And again, you can see kind of the combos. This is a game that's very much just like Ascension or Dominion or any of those type of card games. It's really good with building just some super sick combos. The trick is getting your head around abjuring. That's the huge difference between this game and Star Realms. Star Realms, it's really obvious because you just scrap cards and they go away forever. The abjuring thing definitely is different in the sense that you can put it in this holding place and then you can do something with it, and because you're not playing all your cards at once, you can, I don't know, the combos are just, they hurt my brain a lot more. So anyway, let's go ahead and play him. Let's get our abjure. We can get rid of our follower here. And we're going to play this, and this, and this. Not quite enough. Okay, so he could take it, which I don't want, and you can draw a card. This is another example of the +2, -2. At this point, doesn't do us any good because we would draw 2 cards and then immediately have to discard the 2 of them. In this case, he's blocked from most of, well, blocked for enough of my damage that I can't kill him this turn, which is unfortunate because, like, if I had one of these abilities, or like this one guy right here, if you discard this card, you could do an extra 6 damage, and that's the kind of thing I'd want to have right now. But I guess I'll go ahead and take him, and then end my turn. So at this point, my deck is super tight. There's not a ton of wasted stuff, and I've got enough defenses that he's not going to be able to do anything. I've got way more health, so it's pretty much over. I got to be able to do 7 damage at this point, and I don't. Yep, that should be it right there. So that's that, and that's that. So that is an example of Cthulhu Realms. You can get this online. I believe I got this on Steam actually. It's pretty nice. I'm a fan of Cthulhu Realms, and you can buy the actual. You can buy the physical card game as well. TMG sells it. It's again really fun, and you can play more than 2 players. You can actually play 4 players. It's pretty awesome. Definitely recommended. And anyway, if you have any questions about it or comments or concerns, please feel free to post them in the comments. And until next time, thanks for watching.